He hasn't spoken a word.
Hello, creeps. It's your old pal, the Crypt Keeper. And you are now tuned in to my good fiends at Talks from the Crypt, the most gruesome podcast in the world.
That's funny. I love these lights. I might have to ask you where these lights are.
Which ones? The tubes?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome. I'll take a picture of the brand name.
Yeah,
and send
those
it
are
to you.
great.
Yeah, and they're
All
surprisingly
actor
strong.
self-tapes now. Now we have to create like mini movies.
Really?
Yeah.
So, do you like it better that way, or is it harder that way? Do you like in-person interview or auditions? Rather?
I mean, I feel like I'm an in-person person. I feel like I'm like, okay, what do you want? What do you need? Like, let's like play together, rather than like me guessing what the fuck you want from me.
Yeah.
And not communicating with me.
Right.
So I sort of miss it, but I also don't miss the anxious feeling that you would get when you get into a room and there'd be like 6 bitches in there and you're like, you're going to get it. Cause I know you're going to get it.
Right.
That stuff I don't miss.
Well, what's funny is I remember watching some interviews with you talking about the Runaways and how you were initially auditioning for Joan Jett.
Yeah.
And I actually, when I saw that you had the blonde hair, I think it was short. I didn't see Joan Jett, but I watched a convention interview with you with short black hair. And I was like, there she is. There's Joan Jett right there.
Yeah, that's so crazy. That whole experience, we'll talk about it. That whole experience was wild.
The water cups have arrived.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
She's great.
Thank you. Yeah, she's amazing.
She's awesome. When are you going to put a ring on it?
We got to keep her. Oh, shit. No, we were listening to your podcast the other day, and you guys, I think a fan sent in a question. And I'd like zoned out for that specific portion. She's like, hey, pay attention. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I had to rewind it.
Oh.
And it was some girl writing in about like, what do I do? I've been with my guy for over a decade. He doesn't want to get married. And I think I had only heard half of like either yours or Danielle's answer. And I was like, what she said. And when I rewound it, it actually was against me. It was like, okay, well, if he's not ready, maybe you should start looking somewhere else. I was like, no, not what they said.
Abort mission.
Yeah.
Abort mission.
Right.
It's also like, it's a fear thing, right? Like when you, I don't know what your stance is on marriage. You seem like a family dude.
I am, for me, I still, like, I'm 32, so but I still
You're old,
feel
man.
17.
I know. We were
know
just
what I
talking
mean?
about this in the car.
Like
we were literally just talking about this. I feel so, I'm in like towards my late 30s and I still feel like a kid. I was telling her, I was like, I feel like I'm in my transition phase and like finding myself phase. Like I'm finding my voice for the first time.
Right.
And now I have to like lose my voice and become a mom.
Yeah.
And become married and have some, it's just such a weird, life is so short, but it also moves so fast. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And it feels like an old person thing to do,
Yeah.
Oh, this is my wife. It's like, it makes her sound older than I want us
But
to
it's
sound.
also like, you got to think about, that life is so short and you guys have built something so monumental together that if anything was to happen,
right.
what would you do?
Oh, what
if you weren't married,
What would I do?
Well, you'll be dead. No, just kidding.
No, I would die within a week. It would be like, finding like the pet after somebody died. No. I was like, what is this machine?
Do we wear these guys? You want us wearing these?
It helps with knowing how far you are from the mic, but you're a seasoned podcaster, so I think you know my
There we
position.
go.
We usually give it to people because by the end of the podcast, their mic's out there.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm done talking. That's how you can tell a guest is done.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Yeah, that's like the first cue. It gets
See you
further and
later.
further. So you're
Awesome.
moving to Nashville. Why the hell is everybody abandoning Los Angeles all of a sudden?
It's not the same, man. Los Angeles is losing its sparkle. I also don't know if Los Angeles had a sparkle or if it was just like covered with cocaine and drugs. And
that's a sparkle.
Yeah, there is a certain kind of sparkle. I feel like people grow up and they realize, oh, I don't want to fucking be Peter Pan my entire life.
Yeah.
And like never grow up and never find myself. I also, was struggling with like genuine friendships. I was just talking to your girlfriend about this. You know, I would go to parties, and at parties, like genuine people that I had connections with, everybody would be asking what I had coming up, what I was doing, like nothing about me, life in general. And then I was kind of like on autopilot with that as well.
Yeah.
Where that's all I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we've talked about this. I'm such a workaholic that I can't, there was a time and place like a couple years ago where I couldn't even look at a fucking sunset
Yeah.
and be like, that's really beautiful. Where my husband could enjoy and sit still, I
Right.
couldn't. And I was
Yeah.
like, I need to get out of where this is consuming my life. And it's LA, and LA is just very fake.
Well, everybody out there is out there for a very specific reason, it
Yeah.
seems like. I've talked to a couple of buddies and they're just like, you can't have a conversation with somebody before they're already looking up your IMDb credits.
Dude, 100%. And I was doing the same shit.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not for me. I'm not this person. I love genuine connections. And I couldn't like determine if I had a genuine connection with my friends, which
Yeah.
is fucking crazy. People that were in my life, my whole 20s. I'm like, would you care? Would you get me out of jail?
Yeah.
And I couldn't place one person that would fucking bail me out of
Yeah.
jail.
Would you visit me in the hospital?
Yeah.
if
Would
something
you
happened?
come visit me in the hospital? Would you know
Right.
that I died?
Yeah.
I was like, that's not good. But you would know if I made a movie
Well,
and
that's
I started something.
It's
you
sad
know?
to think about though, because it's just like, what the fuck, man? How could they even live with it? But you're right. It is kind of like a coke run party city.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
I don't think it's anybody's fault. I just think that's LA. You
Yeah.
know, LA is like the place you go to, make shit happen and your dreams come true. But they don't tell you that it's a fucking struggle bus to get to it.
Yeah.
It's not like you show up and you're like, I did it.
Right.
You know, it's hard fucking work year after year after year. And while you're already like sort of in that consumed shit, you're stuck.
Yeah.
You can't leave.
So were you born out there?
I was born in Apple Valley.
Oh, yes.
I was actually born in Long Beach, but then we moved to Apple Valley. I was raised in Apple Valley, California, and Bishop, California, because my dad had a mortuary in both towns. So I kind of went back and forth. But I've been acting since I was 8. So we would, in the live audition phases, I would have to go to LA.
Yeah.
Which is like 2 hours in the car. So I felt like I also grew up in Los Angeles as well. So I had a really weird, funky growing up life.
Well, I love the story about your parents taking you to a some kind of $5,000 thing with Mario Lopez.
Yeah.
But I also find that very cool of your parents because, like, similar to you, I have ADHD. I was a fucking nightmare of a child. But your parents took that energy and channeled it into a career path. My parents just beat me.
Well, there's some of that too over here. No, I mean, now that I look at it, I'm like, I really owe my parents a lot for trying to figure out something that they could do with me. But I think they were also just like, she's fucking annoying me. Please, somebody take her out of our hands and our responsibility, please.
Yeah.
And then it just like stuck really fast. And then I think they were like, oh shit, maybe we can make some money out of this.
Make a little moolah.
This child.
Yeah. But did you have like any dreams prior? Did you think to yourself like that would be cool?
Yeah, I was actually in the Junior Olympics for swimming.
Okay.
I was going to go to the Olympics.
Oh, nice.
And I think I don't know if I made the decision or if my parents made the decision. It's really foggy for me. But I always think about it. I'm like, if I at 15 went for swimming, would that have been a better path than what I just did now? It's pretty wild to imagine like your life completely different. But I mean, they're kind of similar. Like I think that's why I did so well with acting because sports like teaches you a lot.
Yeah, competition.
Yeah,
and-
competitive.
Yeah,
I want to
preparing.
win. I need to win. Yeah, preparing, listening. Being your best, like just achieving.
Yeah.
Success. All that stuff. So, kind of comes in hand. But I always wonder that I probably would be retired and I probably would be a coach
Yeah, right.
by now.
Well, would you let your kids, and I think this lets me in on a little bit of your insight as to how you feel about being in the industry at such a young age. Would you let your kids get into the industry?
Man, that's a tough decision. That's so tough. That's so tough. I actually teach little kids. I used to teach acting classes, and I was always for it. But I do think there's pros and cons to having kids in the industry. But I also think that we've come a long way. And I don't think that I would be a responsible parent if I was to put my child in there. But I also, I've dealt with a lot of moms and dads where I've had to have those tough decisions in conversations with them, stating that, hey, your kid doesn't want to do this. So you shouldn't probably force them to do this shit.
Right.
I think if you have like a leveled head, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a kid, so I can't.
You don't have a kid?
No.
I thought you just said you. Okay, sorry. I picked up on something wrong.
What? Do I look like a mom?
No, not
just
at all.
kidding.
I
Okay.
thought I saw you a picture of you holding a child. I may
Oh, I
just
have
thought
a
it was
lot of
yours.
kiddos. I'm a big kid at
okay.
heart. That I've collected. I don't know if I've collected moms or if I've collected children,
Right.
but I have a lot of kids. And
Yeah.
now and then they turn 18 and they fucking hate you. They don't want
Right.
to talk to you anymore. So I have a lot of kids. I've raised a lot of kiddos, but nothing
Yeah.
has come out of my vagina.
That's
Yet.
we're working. Well, shit, not we, but her and her husband are working on that.
Maybe. I don't
eventually.
know. We don't never know. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like we're about to move out to LA and I always get like 50-50 feedback. Some people are like, do it. It'll be the best decision ever. And other people are like, don't, dude. We're all leaving. We're all jumping ship.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the cost is so crazy. I hope you find connections with people. I mean, it seems like you have friends out there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, at least you're not starting from scratch.
Right.
At least you have a community. It's just like I didn't feel safe in LA anymore, but you're a man, I'm a woman. So it's just there's just like a lot of like I said, the sparkle is gone from LA and it's just so expensive.
Yeah.
Vegas is dope. Look at the setup that you have. Why would you want to leave this?
I
It's
kind of agree.
affordable.
Right.
People can come to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like you need to do this in LA. This is such a cool, special thing.
And I appreciate hearing that because you're right. I think that's like the number one thing we've been going back and forth with is how big this room is. I mean, if you were to rent a place like this in LA, this is $5,000 a
Yeah,
month.
you're not going to find anything like this.
No.
Okay, our podcast, Talk Scary to Me, we were not able to do this because
Yeah.
it was too expensive. So the
Yeah.
fact that, just like take it for what it is, I feel like you should just stay here.
Well, I appreciate that. No, I kind of want to. I just feel like guest access and, you've run a podcast at
Yeah.
some point. It sucks that I have to say that in past tense.
Yeah, I know.
Because I kind of wish it was still around. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But you understand, like, there are certain challenges.
Yeah.
When I first got into this, I thought it was going to be easy. I was like, dude, these people are accepting $60 at convention tables. They'll come on my podcast.
Yeah.
Not the case. Apparently, they're hit up every hour to
Well,
do
it's
podcasts.
scary, man. We're afraid of getting murdered all the time. I'm still the vote is out. I
Yeah.
may still get murdered in this situation.
Yeah, you never know.
You just like it's just a scary place right now. It's
Right.
a really scary place. We unfortunately, we have a better I'm an actor, so I would be able to approach people in a different way.
Right.
Hence, if you ever need help to reaching out to anybody, I will help
No,
you.
no.
But, I was going to cons and I was going up to the tables, even with people that I didn't know. And I was like, hey, we have a podcast. Will you be on? And getting
Yeah.
people's information. I was hustling.
Yeah.
I was fucking hustling.
Yeah, and I'm sure like the fact that you are a public figure, it's like, okay, this person isn't going to skin me while I
Easier.
sleep.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
a little easier.
But did you notice there was any challenges you didn't necessarily foresee when starting it?
Yeah, that the production and producer side would care because that was the problem. Is like we cared about the podcast, we put so much effort into it, but it was really hard to find somebody to back us and believe in us. But that's just like a challenge that actors face all the time. Is good like agents and managers to like support you.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any of that support system because I've been a hustler my entire life, my entire fucking career. I can do 100% of it, but you need to help.
You have to,
People
yeah.
need to help,
Right.
know, and that was something that we were struggling to find. And then we were just kind of coasting and staying in the same thing. And I was like, we're not like going up.
Yeah.
So I feel like, that was kind of like the determination of it,
For sure.
amongst other things.
Well, speaking of, so there's some speaking going on online that there was some kind of falling out.
Oh,
And
man.
I don't know that that's true.
Yeah.
You know, the internet could come up with the craziest fucking things.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I guess I'll explicitly ask you, aside from, you know, some of the technical stuff, what happened? Like, why is it not around? And did you guys know how much people cared about it?
Yeah, I guess we didn't realize how much people really, I mean, I can only speak for myself. I didn't realize how much people cared about it, because it did feel like a struggle to get questions in and all of that stuff. But we really loved hearing it at the cons, and people really, you know, people at the cons were coming up to us and not asking us about Rob Zombie, and they were asking us like personal questions that they wanted
Crossing
advice
out all my
on,
Rob Zombie questions,
which
now.
was so awesome. And
Yeah.
and I feel like people were getting to know us, which was so beautiful. But it just, like, for me personally, it felt like a lot of work.
Yeah.
It just felt like work, and it wasn't like fun. And I was super busy. You know, I'm shifting into directing a lot more and writing and producing, and it became like a struggle to try to balance both.
Yes.
And, you know, I felt like I was like letting that part down and like trying to keep it. It was just really, really hard. Plus we weren't like making income, you know, we were just spending a lot.
Yeah.
So there was so much. And that's why, you know, I stress it enough. Like, we really wanted support to have somebody be like, okay, like, help us build this thing. Because there's so many things that we could have done, like a TV show, like, you know, we're on camera people.
Right.
So like our chemistry is like, you can hear it, but like, if you see it, it's like electric. So we were just hoping for growth, and we just really weren't finding it. And, you know, our lives and us as people were shifting, you know. And like I said, I feel like I'm finding my voice for the first time. And so like, I'm like kind of on this like wave at the moment, and Danielle's on a different wave. And so it was just like really hard to like balance it and come together.
So no inner turmoil between you two.
No, I mean, it's just like an unfortunate thing. I mean, so many beautiful memories happened from that show. You know, we got to really know each other for the first time. I know we've known each other forever, but like, we really got to connect with one another and realize how similar and how different we are as people. So it was it was really cool. It was a really cool thing to have.
Well,
I mean,
and
we
you
did
guys-
like 190 episodes.
Right.
Fucking
It was
crazy.
a lot.
That's
you guys
crazy.
did a lot.
Yeah.
And I would have never found out Kane Hodder had a foot fetish unless you guys
Dude,
did your
me
show.
neither.
Which was great. I'm like, fuck yeah, Kane Hodder. What a man. And then, you know, you guys having that kind of platform, it was original. You know, like I remember when I first heard of the topic, like you guys were talking about sex and stuff, I was like, how is this going to work? But I watched a couple of episodes and I was like, okay, I see what they're doing, because sex and horror are kind of like long lost siblings of each other.
Oh yeah. And then true crime in there.
Right,
Like, but these were
yes.
actually like just all of our interests. Danielle and I are very open books. And we have different point of views, but like I said, similar as well. And we just have amazing banter. It's so funny. I don't know if you ever saw the oh God, what's the Halloween store? What's a Halloween store?
Where's it
The
at?
biggest Halloween store that you
Spirit Halloween.
Spirit Halloween. Okay, yeah, we did like some Spirit Halloween thing, and I just realized, I was like, oh, my dynamic is the one that just says fucking crazy fucking shit and is the funny random fucking person, and then Danielle's like more like like it just worked.
Yeah.
It just really worked.
Yeah, well, you guys also fed off of each other. There were
Yeah.
times where Danielle was having a shitty day and you were giving her advice, or you were having a shitty day and she was giving you advice.
Yeah.
And to see that dynamic, it was like you guys were sisters.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? So
We were really like, if you listen to it, we were discovering our friendship
right.
through the podcast.
So you guys weren't friends during Rob Zombie's Halloween?
No, I mean, we were like friendly. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she was older. She was like in her mid 30s and I was 17.
Oh, right.
Turning
Yes.
18.
Okay.
So we weren't really, and then we saw each other at cons, and I think, you know, our age difference still is the same, but I think I you know how it started is I went over to her house to do some Patreon thing that she had, and her husband is the one that saw the dynamic and afterwards was like, you guys need to do something.
Right.
And then I was like, yeah, I've always wanted to do a podcast. And she was like, I want to do a podcast. But then that's when I said, I really love like like TED Talk sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And we just kind of found it pretty fast, and there was nothing to do because it was COVID. So we were like, fuck it, let's try it.
Right.
And we're not working. Like we're not getting booked on anything. So like, let's like discover this. And it just like sort of took off.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys had very similar upbringings. I know Danielle was kind of pushed into the industry at a young age, and so were you. And then obviously you guys are both icons of the Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what was it like working with Rob Zombie? I'm just kidding. Don't answer that question.
Horrible. That was great.
Well, I liked yesterday. You were like, I have told that story 700 times. There's nothing left I could say about Rob.
I'm trying to think of like anything else that I could say about Rob. It's wild.
Yeah, you can't. There's nothing left.
There's nothing. I mean, he's a great gift giver. Like he's like really giving me some special gifts, which is really awesome.
Ooh, like what?
He gave me this big, I actually don't know where the fuck it is. I think my parents took it when I was moving from in my mid-20s, but he gave me this like, it was like a sort of Jesus replica of like the Last Supper, but it was all horror icons.
Oh, wow.
It was
That was
awesome.
a pretty sweet
It was
gift.
sick.
I would imagine him giving sweet gifts too.
Yeah.
He's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, he's a really great guy.
Well, I mean, I'll die on the cross of his Halloween movies. Like, I've gotten torn apart in
yeah.
my comment section because, you know.
Good for
Okay.
you for sticking up for us.
But listen, like, the fan base is incredible, but there's also a toxic side of that fan base that I'm sure you're not a stranger to.
Yeah. I'm always getting hit. I feel like I release something and I just have a bunch of bats just
Yeah.
ready to fucking strike me to the ground.
Right.
I'm like, God damn it, guys. Come on. Please love me. Love me.
Well, I think there's a giant portion of people who absolutely do. I mean, they're like, well, you like that fucking hillbilly trash. It's like, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that hillbilly trash.
It's a hard thing, at least for me. You know, I get it. I'm the only other person that has stepped into the Jamie Lee, you know, Curtis shoes of a classic that
Right.
people love. I get it. I have my favorites as well, like Dirty Dancing. If anybody was to fucking remake that, I'm like, you can't replace Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you going to replace Patrick Swayze with? Who are you
Jake
gonna replace?
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, it won't
I'm
work.
just kidding.
So
Yeah.
I get it. I didn't get it at 17 years old when I was like, oh my God, people are comparing me to this woman that I've admired forever. And like, I was so scared. And like, people still will come to my table and be like, you're just not my favorite, but will you sign that?
What a backhanded compliment. Why the fuck would you
I
even
get
say
so
anything?
many backhanded compliments. And you just have to go, okay.
Yeah, well, thank you. Also,
Thanks so much.
Thanks for your $40. Or
Yeah.
you probably, I don't know, if it's 40 or not. But
No, but it's, yeah.
no, and you put something into perspective for me that I didn't really think about. Like, you were 17 and hearing all of this stuff. Like, I imagine you now, like maybe with the internet and how big Instagram and Twitter and all these different sites have gotten. But like, man, you were hearing that when you were young. And was that like, I think it was your first breakout role, right?
Yeah, dude. And that was like, was that ever, I'm going to date myself. Was that around when the internet just kind of started its thing? Like, you know, it was like around when people started having opinions on the internet.
Yeah.
And it, you know, as soon as my name dropped, it was hard. It's hard. It's hard not like reading all of the comments. And I was
Yeah.
reading it like every single day until the release and then after the release, you know? But like, that's so interesting is like Rob, I was the first tape that Rob saw and I was his first pick and I wasn't the studios. Yet again, here we go.
Really?
Where like they didn't want me. They didn't want me at all. And, you know, they had offered it to, I think Brittany Snow
Oh.
got offered the job. I think Kristen Stewart got offered the job. Like they offered it to so many people before me. And Rob he told me he kind of had them offer it to people that he knew wouldn't accept the job because he really wanted me to do it.
Yeah. I can't imagine Brittany Snow or what was the other one?
Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart. I couldn't
Yeah,
imagine her in
right.
that.
It would be, but I was like a kid. I was an actual kid.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Rob really enjoyed. Like I really felt like a teenager. I wasn't like an older woman playing a kid. You know.
Well, and you're a great actor, and I don't say that
thanks.
to just blow smoke and because you're right in front of me. I really do
Keep
mean
going.
it. But ever since you were a little girl, I watched an interview and somebody mentioned this short film you were in called Chicken Night.
Oh my God, Chicken Night.
So I was like, I need to YouTube this. They only have the trailer, but I was like, holy shit, she was good
with
when she
Ione
was
Sky.
tiny.
With
Yeah.
Ione Sky. Well, I had, you know, that was like another thing with my parents. You know, I had a really tough childhood. with my biological mom. Some things I remember, some things I don't. And I think I actually wrote a short about it and produced it and starred in it. And
Building Blocks,
Yeah,
right?
building blocks. So
Incredible work, by the way.
Thank you. So I grew up pretty quickly, and I grew up around things that children shouldn't be growing up around. So I think the adult matters of auditions I just got that most kids wouldn't get. Hence why I never went the Disney route. And hence why I was like playing fucking prostitutes and like runaways and all this stuff at such a young age, because I think my development of serious shit. And I think also too, it was therapy for me as a kid. It really was. Playing somebody else and not having to be myself with my childhood trauma really helped me.
That's incredible.
And it still does. I'm still like, please let me go fucking escape for a month, please. You know?
Well, I hear you talk a lot about your inner child, and it's an interesting, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs kind of thing, where it's like you have to attend to these different parts of your psyche to grow into somebody who is just naturally happy. But there are times where it's like, I'm like, is that even possible?
Yeah. You know, I think it's such a horrible life to not speak to your inner child and know that it's there and not nurture it and not like listen to it.
Yeah.
Because that's that fucking horrible thing in your chest and in your gut that you're constantly just shoving down.
Right.
It's imagine, and I think that's a really good thing to be able to like, I can look at you and see your little self.
Amazing.
And hopefully you can look at me and see that too.
Yeah.
So then we won't be so fucking horrible to one another.
Right.
And so I try to take that into consideration whenever I want to be a bitch. And I'm like, wait a minute, you have a little thing that your upbringing.
A little thing, whoa.
That too. I don't know. Who knows? Alex, you know, like you
She's
have.
over there like.
She's like, it's great. Well, you know, you have this child inside of you, and it's good to recognize that everybody has an upbringing, everybody has a past, everybody has. You know, you became the person you are because of the things and the parents that you were around.
Right.
We all have a story.
Yeah, and that's interesting to hear because it's like not a lot of people have that kind of spirit inside of them, you know, and getting more involved with Hollywood and kind of, you know, as the show grows, we end up making more friends with people. So we get invited to more parties. And I kind of see why a lot of people could find that it's not as authentic. I hate to say it because like you said, everybody's out there for a reason. Everybody's got a dream. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, the industry is changing mostly because, I don't know, maybe it's always been like this.
I think it has always been like that.
Yeah.
But I think we mature, we see things.
Yeah.
We don't like to see things as we grow up. We ignore all the shit, you know? And then you ignore it for so long that it's like, they're blurred lines.
Exactly.
I think it's always been like this.
Yeah.
We're just like, we're breaking out of the fucking like grave. We're like, I can see for the first fucking time. This is what it's like. And then you're back in.
Right.
You know, it's a weird thing.
Well, how much has directing helped you in your process?
So fucking much.
Wow. Okay. So let's get into that and
So
explain
much.
why.
Dude, well, like it's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm waking up for the first time. I feel like I'm finding my voice for the first time. I'm not playing somebody. I'm not like needing people to love me and like me and choose me. I'm literally like being myself.
Yeah.
I am fully planted on the ground, creating visually what I feel I want people to see. And I'm working with others that respect it rather than like being like, what do you want? What do you need? I'll do whatever you need. You know, I'm not this little thing anymore. I'm like, I'm in my body.
Well, you're at a point to, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now with Last Chance Motel, I know that's your next film coming out or no?
Well, Last Chance. Yeah, Last Chance should be the next one coming out. Yes.
Okay. And so co-directing on that with Danielle, I've always been curious not only about the dynamic of co-directing, but you guys had also starred in it as well. How do you star and direct something at the same
Fucking
time?
hard.
So it's difficult.
Don't do it again. You know, it was interesting. You know, I saw it. I saw it. I listen, I observe. I'm that person. The podcast was developing a fan base. I saw it at the cons. I saw people coming up to us, seeing us as a unit. And I also heard, Danielle and myself say over and over, we're just not getting the things that we want to do. We're just not doing the things that we want to do. And so I literally had this idea and I was like, dude, we should do a movie that we want to do starring us because we want to star in something together.
And you'll work for yourself for free.
Yeah.
technically.
So I was like, we should be doing this. And look at the fans. Like they would love it. Like
Yeah.
they're cheering us on. They're pretty much like, go do this, So I brought this idea to her and I was looking at wedding venues because I was getting married. And we were going to a lot of sketchy ass fucking places, like in the middle of the desert, like drop you off. We're not going to send you an address. A car will pick you up and it will take you to the venue. Like some fucking weird ass, like
Yeah.
I'm going to murder you. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck, there's the idea. So when I pitched it to Danielle, I said, okay, this and we're lovers. I was like, dude, people are going to love that.
Wow. I didn't know that part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're getting married to each other. So I was like, are you for it? And she's like, yeah, sure. And so I was like, no, yeah, sure. We're going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
We're going to do it, dude. So I found a writer
Who is it?
that I worked with, Brandon Slagle. I'm sorry, Brandon. I always say your name wrong. He's going to be like, Scout, you fucking asshole. So I found a writer. I had him write the story. And then I was like, here it is. It's here.
Yeah.
And I found a producer that I had worked with before that I trusted. And I was like, okay, we can do this. Like, let's just go do this. And I was directing my first movie, Bring the Law with Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
And I cast Danielle. And Danielle was on set. And this wasn't supposed to be the case. I always thought we were going to find a director and star in this thing. Like that's, this Last Chance Motel. Like this is just too much work for us to direct. So she was actually the one that came up to me on day one of her filming as I think she, for the first time seeing me in that role, she's always saw me as like a young girl, like a kid, know? I've
yeah.
always been that little
sister.
girl to her. So I think for the first time she saw, wait a minute, who's that? Like, I don't know who that is. And so she came up to me. She was like, hey, like maybe we should direct this movie together. And I was like in the middle of I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Let's think about that because that's crazy. It just adds so much more. And so we talked about it and I was like, I mean, we always have each other's back. So I was like, let's do it. Would I recommend it? Probably not. It was a lot of work.
Well,
It
tell
really
me about
was.
the pitching process real quick. So you got the script written. Who did you take the script to?
I took it to my friend Damon Hillen, and I just did a movie with him. He was actually kind of the start of my directing. I was with him filming a movie in Thailand, and I'd done 6 movies with him. And I was watching things happen, and I just looked over at him, and I was like, I think I want to direct.
Yeah.
And he was like, you do? And he kind of responded about time
Right.
that you saw it.
Yeah.
Because we've all seen it, that you probably would want to do this one day. And within 2 months, he was like, I've got a movie for you. And I was expecting a horror movie. And then I get this Bring the Law, cop drama action movie with Mickey Rourke. And I was like, wait, what? Does he want me to direct this for my first movie? So
Was it a challenge doing that?
it was a massive challenge. It was a 13-day shoot.
Oh, wow.
Mickey Rourke, 9 locations, 36 actors.
And I heard he's notoriously, I heard he's notoriously difficult to deal with,
It was an experience.
as expected.
It was an experience. So I executed that, and the one thing that I massively took away from that was I can do this and I want to do this. I had so much fun. My crew didn't hate me. It was so funny. We did an overnight shoot, and we stopped at 6 a.m. in the morning and wrapped. And that night I was like, hey guys, if everybody wants to come over, open bar. I'm we're doing a wrap party. I know like normally people just disperse and they're like, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I hope that you guys all come. I hope that you guys had a really great time. I had an amazing experience with all of you. Everybody fucking showed up that night
Wow.
and we just partied. And I got so emotional.
Well, that's
and
a testament to the environment that you set for all of
yeah,
them.
dude. And I had so much fun with all of them. And now they've kind of become my crew,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they trickled into Last Chance Motel. And
Yeah.
it was like getting the band back together, my crew, you
Yeah.
know, and to execute this movie.
Which was also shot on 12 days, right?
12 days.
Jesus. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, with all the VFX going wrong. Oh my God. But at least we were in one location. So if something didn't go right, I'd be like, all right, we got to figure that out for tomorrow because we've got to add it to tomorrow because we need this shot, you know? So it was, that was a blessing. But it was, you know, it was a hard thing, but you know, that's why we cast actors that know what the fuck they're doing. Cause we knew it was going to be like, let's go, let's get this done.
Yeah.
But it was a really cool experience. It was awesome to be able to create these characters for our friends that we knew that they would be able to push themselves
Yeah.
and do something different. Like Heather, you know, Heather Landing Camp, we gave her this really fucking wild character, Bobby Love, and we really like developed it with her, and her husband and her team did the special effects. So that was really cool to
That's
be
amazing. I didn't
dude,
know
to
that
be a
either.
part of that with Heather, like
Yeah.
in pre-production and like go to their shop and like develop all these kills. It was really funny. Heather's such a cutie pie. She was like, Scout, she's like, is there any way that it just doesn't have to be so bloody? I was like, Heather, this is your husband's job.
Yeah, it's like, hey, also, do you remember Nightmare on Elm Street?
I
by
know.
any
Maybe
means?
that just scarred her.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I don't want to do bloody things.
Yeah, yeah.
Why does it have to be so gory?
Exactly.
You know, why are these kills so gross? I'm like, no, they're going to be great. You know,
That excites me more to hear that there's gross kills in the movie.
yeah, we were rocking off of like Damon Leone, you know, like Terrifier and
Yeah.
stuff. Like I love him. I love the whole Terrifier gang. I love David. So we were just kind of like, me personally, I was like, this is what's hot right now. So let's do it.
Right.
You know, let's take a step.
Well, I want to know the moment that you turned to your friend and said, I want to direct, and he kind of knew that you had that in you.
Yeah.
I love hearing about that because I feel like that was a pivotal moment in your life where something had almost awoken in you.
Dude.
And so I'm curious, number one, what took it so long? Have you ever had dreams before? And like, what do you think changed psychologically?
Me. I changed. I really changed. And I think you can listen to it on the podcast. I was very much like, I don't want to say a follower, but very much like, oh, whatever you need, whatever you want, like kind of thing. But like I've been that's a thing from being a child actor for so long. You are always listening to somebody else. You're always wanting to be accepted and chosen and picked, and you have to turn into this person. You have to be this person. So finding yourself and who you are, that was a massive question that I sort of asked myself. I didn't know who I was outside of work. I had no idea who Scout is outside of playing a character and outside of being an actor. So I was really asking these massive questions, and I started with a therapist, and we really awoken some crazy shit. And I really, these blurred lines that I've had my entire life became unblurred. And
Yeah.
I just started like listening to my inner child and like seeing her again. Who was like, hey, you forgot about me. Like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
So it was just a lot of work that was being done while the podcast was also happening.
Yeah.
And so I think you notice it, like you notice it as the podcast is happening. Cause
Right.
I was going through some intense like work on myself.
Yeah.
And in that I just found me.
I love that for you. Honestly. I mean, it
Thanks.
sounds like you were kind of in more of like a submissive position. where
Dude.
You were just kind of following what
Yeah.
your group was doing.
Yes.
And that liberating moment of saying,
Yes.
fuck this, I'm going to do what I want.
Yes, exactly.
That's a huge moment.
It's emotional. It's really emotional to
Yeah.
like find you and yourself and your voice and find a clear path
Right.
and a fun path. I wasn't like having fun playing the same characters over and over, and I just felt very lost, and I felt not seen, and I didn't want to sit in that anymore. I mean, actors will sit in that and die.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't, or I'm going to die sooner than later.
Well, it's a different dynamic with actors because you
Yeah.
kind of are just taking whatever's available if there's no work. But as a director, you're selective about what you want to do and put your name on.
And I'm learning and I'm adapting and I'm still growing and finding myself in that, which is exciting.
Right.
From my first project, like from BTL, my first thing, to the movies that I'm doing now are so different, and it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild
Right.
how much I've changed and shifted in just even this path. It's insane.
So you're working on new projects right now.
Yeah. So
That's
I'm
amazing.
starting, and I think Building Blocks was like the lock. Like BTL was fun. I was like, Last Chance Motel is fun. Like, this is fun. But I was like, I don't want to just start this new path and continue my old traits of doing things that people want me to do. I need to listen to myself and what storytelling do I want to tell?
Right.
What excites me? What what do I want to say? So that's when I did Building Blocks. I wrote Building Blocks and I just executed it for like $30,000 and I did that, and then I started writing my own stuff, and then I started creating my production company because I want to do my stories.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so did becoming a director make you a better actor in a way, or did being an actor for so long just make you a better director?
I think probably being an actor really made me the director that I am today. It's funny, I wrote a movie. I wrote a movie and directed it with Freddie Prinze Jr. as my lead, and I was actually just talking to him the other day, and he was saying like the difference between working with a male and a female director is like the male directors want to be the person that like, I got that actor there. I fucking did that. That was me. Me and my approach is very much like, how do you feel? How do you see? Like I'm trusting you. It's more of like, let's find it together rather than, I don't give a fuck. Like, I want you to be the best performer and actor that you can be. I'm not here to take that responsibility. I'm not here to be like, oh, that's because of me that you got there.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're working together. It's delicate. And it's like, it's a dance together rather than like me, shiny, shiny, shiny.
Yeah.
Well,
it's cool that you found this kind of experience throughout acting, because there are so many people who are trying to break into filmmaking now. And that's why I feel like this conversation is important, because so many people are kind of in this mindset of, okay, well, if I'm going to go write a movie, let me write something that I think will be successful.
Yeah, no.
But nothing's going to be as good as like if it actually speaks to the filmmaker.
100%. And I feel like we're seeing so much of that now.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I'm inspired by a lot of people that I've seen doing that, even in the horror genre.
Right.
Like there's so many horror projects being executed for no money. Things that, obviously is not a remake or like people are like doing original ideas, like Good Boy, like they're like doing original shit.
Right.
And they're not waiting for the money to come in because we'll just go fucking execute it.
Well, these remakes are just a fucking lose-lose, because even if you're a filmmaker who brings an original idea, I mean, obviously Rob Zombie, but I just went and saw Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Oh, yeah.
People are pissed because it's
really?
like 7 movies mixed into one. I mean, you've got a little Mummy, but you've got like The Exorcist, and you've got these possession movies, and so
it's funny. I watched it. I mean, I love Lee Cronin. I'm
He's
a
great.
massive fan of him. I actually
Yes.
I like DM'd him because I was like, and we commented back and forth with each other. Also, because I was like, I have a movie that I want you to direct, but then I'm gonna direct it. But anyways, I was like, I was so inspired by that, but I did. It was interesting when I watched it. I was like, I saw so many movies in that movie. I was like, that's from that, that's from that, that's from that. But we're all inspired. But I understand. I haven't read the reviews on it.
It was his movie. And
Yeah,
that's
it was his movie.
I mean, his name was all over it for sure.
Yeah.
But it was like, you could tell it was his brain. I mean, there was definitely Evil Dead DNA in it. But I went and saw the new Faces of
Evil
Death.
Dead.
Right.
So fucking good.
Oh, did you see the new trailer
No.
for Evil Dead? Is it Burn, maybe? We don't have to play it, but it's
So good.
it's probably one of the greatest trailers in like
good.
the last decade.
Lee, if you're listening, I want to do a movie with you so bad.
Yeah, no, he's great.
So
and
good.
But no, he made the movie his own. I got into an argument with a buddy.
You
who-
could tell it was him,
right.
like 100%. It's
There
like
was
Rob.
his DNA in it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Exactly like Rob.
Yeah.
Like every single Rob movie, you're going to have a lot of curse words. You're going to have a couple of hillbillies here and there, but that's just his
It's
DNA.
intense, like the way that he shoots. It's yeah.
Oh yeah, those close-ups.
So good.
Yeah, or
So
those
good.
voyeuristic shots behind the counter or something. I love it. No, Lee Cronin's was great. Did you see the new Faces of Death
No,
movie?
I haven't. Everybody's talking about this.
Okay, so that's my problem is like you've got these two separate movies and a buddy gave me like really good insight. He's like, well, at least Faces of Death knew what it was and it stayed down that path.
Okay.
Whereas like The Mummy didn't really know what it was and it went down 150 different paths.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, I had felt like Faces of Death was a bit more cookie cutter, whereas like Lee Cronin, he was making his own thing. He was
Dude, that was fucking intense.
Yeah.
It was intense, but I get it. It was going a lot of different directions, but that's what made it interesting, I feel
Right.
like. I didn't get bored.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't bored in that movie.
I love to know that you're still like you partake in this stuff. You
Oh,
go
yeah.
to the movies, you watch these things.
Oh, yeah. It's important to go to the movies.
Exactly.
They're
Go to the
gonna
movie theaters.
die.
Well, I think now we might be seeing a little bit of a resurgence.
I hope so.
Well, so many people are just trashing the whole Netflix model now.
Yeah.
That's almost
yeah.
becoming the new norm to
Yeah.
not like Netflix.
It's so beyond me to try to understand it, but it's definitely affecting the industry.
right.
And I don't think that people realize how deeply it's affecting the industry, but we also did it to ourselves.
Yeah, that is
So,
true.
I don't know.
I feel like COVID kind of put the catapult on it for sure. But I don't know. Movies seem to be back. Like Ryan Gosling said something great in one of his interviews. And he's like, we keep putting it on the audiences to get out to the theaters, but it's really us as the
Yeah.
filmmakers. It's our job to make something that makes them want to go to the movie theater.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a marriage.
Right.
Yeah, I love that.
But as an independent filmmaker, is there a piece of you that kind of respects the streaming model in a way? Because if you can't get distribution, but you could get it on Shudder, you could get it on Netflix, is that a better than nothing kind of deal?
I mean, it is. It's scary. Okay, this is the part of, you know, starting a production company, starting this endeavor that I'm sort of trying to learn now is selling, is
Right.
distribution. It's fucking scary. Having the responsibility of getting your investors' money back.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary because nobody's buying movies anymore for what they were being bought for. There's so many movies. There's so many different routes that you can go. So people aren't like offering much.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense. This is like something that I'm still sort of learning. And it's shitty that I'm learning this now when everything's dying.
Right.
I'm like, wait a minute. Like 2 years ago, this is fine.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to tell me nothing can sell? I don't understand.
Yeah.
You have I mean, they're having fucking problems selling movies with huge stars. That's crazy. Put that into perspective.
Yeah.
We can't fucking sell a movie with Jamie Foxx.
Oh, okay.
Like we can't sell a movie
Yeah.
with like Jake Gyllenhaal. Like what's going on?
yeah.
You know, and like TV, yeah, they're offering money, but like it's not all rainbows over there either.
Yeah. Well, it's easy for me to say from the peanut gallery. Like I heard Tarantino talk about this once that that's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we keep putting that out there, that's just what it's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know,
I try not to let it be fear.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to make movies that I really want to make and that are meaningful stories, and I can't let it like scare me away from making films.
right. Well, how have you liked the writing process?
I've loved it.
Yeah.
I've loved it so much. I've always been very fearful of the writing process just because, okay, listen, I like graduated at 14. Like I got my GED at 14 years old so I could work as an adult on set. So I could work longer hours.
Right.
So I've always been super nervous of my education, especially when it came to writing and grammar. We kind of talked about this last night. I kind of vomit. I vomit and vomit and vomit. And thankfully, I have an amazing husband that can help me like with my grammar
Yeah.
and all of that because he really knows me. And so he understands what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a beautiful thing. But Road to Recovery, the movie that I wrote, was very much in my in my beginning of like finding myself, my mother had passed away that I didn't, I had a relationship at a young age, but then, my dad got custody of me, and then I never really saw her until my early 30s.
Yeah.
And then she was diagnosed with cancer, and then she died.
Man, I'm sorry to hear
So
that.
I never got to like have a relationship with her.
Right.
And so after that passing, like Road to Recovery just spewed out in like a week.
Right.
Like it was wild. I just like, I wrote it so fast, and I wrote it from the heart. And that's what I'm trying to do on all of my projects. They all have some sort of like stamp of pain or some like something is just like,
Yeah.
I think I miss those types of movies. I really do. I miss that. And there's like glimpses in like comedies where I used to have that. Like, like, so I'm sort of healing in my
Right.
writing, which is awesome.
Yeah, well, they say that your work will heal you once it
Yeah.
starts to heal others.
Yes.
And so that's a big thing. It's like you
Yes.
write something that is personal to you, and there are going to be millions of people who could also connect with that kind of thing.
Yeah, and so much of it changed. It's was added. The movie focuses around a teenage girl who has cancer, and it's a road trip that she joins a teen support group, and she becomes friends with a young boy, and they make this promise that if they don't hear from each other, that they come running, and
Yeah.
she doesn't hear from him. And so she convinces her father to go on this road trip to go to him. And obviously there's lessons and journeys between
it's a coming of age film.
It's a coming. I love coming of age stories.
Little
Like
Miss
that's
Sunshine.
Yes, it's literally Little Miss Sunshine.
Yes,
It's
that's like
literally-
early 2000s
Yes.
coming of age films are like the best.
Yes, so that's where I want to live. I want
Yeah.
to live in that. I love YA. I'm now writing books, so I loved that script so much, and I loved my actors so much that I wanted to live in it for a little bit longer. So
Yeah.
I developed it into a book that's
Oh,
going to come
great.
out before the movie. And then I've been working on my book of my story growing up in the mortuary called The Diary of the Mortician's Daughter.
Wow.
So I'm developing that as a YA
Yeah.
because I really want it to be like a series or like a movie. I always watched 6 Feet Under, and I always saw the young teenager and girl, and I was like, well, we're not following her story. Like, what's her story? Because that's
Right.
what I really felt. All my firsts were in the mortuaries, which was fucking hilarious and crazy and odd and fucking weird. And
Yeah.
like, I know a lot of shit about dead people and and I've seen a lot of shit. And so it wasn't like a normal teenage lifestyle. And it's fucking funny. So I'm developing that as well.
Well, that sounds amazing. And now
Thanks.
you bring up being a mortician's daughter and growing up in a mortuary. But it's interesting because I'm noticing like a theme here. From a young age, and the experiences you've had are very existential. You're dealing with life and death,
Yeah.
not only in your movies, but in your personal life as well.
Wow. That's so crazy.
Very Freudian,
Thank
right?
you for letting me see that. That's crazy. Yeah, no, you're totally, no wonder. No wonder I'm like so deep in like, I grew up around death.
Yeah, well, you seem to not be operating at a surface level of I want to make the next big box office hit. You want to make something meaningful.
I do.
Well, in
I
a lot of
do.
these movies, like I've got a buddy who I don't want to say it out loud, but his movie didn't do really well. They had a mini theatrical release. I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, this is not something that is meant for right now. This is something in 20 years people
Yeah.
will resurface.
Yeah.
And it's going to be just one of those cult classics.
Oh, I love that you said that. I think when something doesn't do well, I hate that people like hold on to that and get it in their head that, maybe they shouldn't be doing this or whatever. It's there's a time and place.
What's that? This new letterboxed culture,
What is that?
Letterboxed?
Grandma, teach Grandma what letterbox
It's
is,
like
TikTok
Instagram
and
for movie
verticals and all this shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Yeah, no, they're I don't know if you've ever seen those Instagram videos where they're like, what's your top 4 movies? And they put it in
Oh
little
yeah.
rectangles.
Oh yeah. Yes, I've seen TikTok videos of that.
Yeah, it's like Instagram for movie
What's
reviews.
yours?
My letterbox?
Yeah.
My top 4? Fuck. I would say
Be
Demons,
honest. Okay.
Evil Dead,
All horror?
No, The Devils by Ken Russell has to be up there for sure.
Okay.
Not all horror. I mean, I love Fellini's 8.5, but who doesn't fucking love Fellini's 8.5?
I've never seen it.
Really? It's a movie
Love to
about
see it.
making movies.
Oh, cool. Okay, I love that
Francois
shit.
Truffaut's Day for Night is one of the greatest movies ever
Dude,
made.
I miss DVDs with BTS behind the
Yes.
scenes shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Right.
like any network that drops like the making of Stranger Things, I was like the first person to like, "Boop, it's out.
Yeah.
I need to watch this.
Well, now I want to know your top 4. I'm gonna
Okay, wait.
edit the rectangles up. Welcome to Letterboxd, ladies and gentlemen. Scout Taylor Compton, what's your top 4?
Little Mermaid,
Yes,
fucking classic.
great pick.
Dirty Dancing.
Okay, another great
A lot
pick.
happened for me in that movie. A lot happened.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I love men. I'm not like, do I like women or men? I like men. Facts. And then I love this little indie movie called May.
Oh my fucking God. How many times have I brought up May on this?
I love
Nobody
May.
talks it. Lucky
Oh,
McKee, Lucky McKay. What's the name
Dude,
of the director?
I was supposed to do a movie with him and I had a Zoom with him and I literally was like, dude, bro, you don't understand.
Yes.
I love your stuff. Please. Like,
Fuck
I
yeah.
hope this movie goes. And of course it didn't go, but hope to work with him one day. And then let's see. I really love Paper Moon.
Paper Moon? Are you talking about the Peter Bogdanovich movie?
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, you're a fan.
I am a fan. I mean,
You're a
that's what
cinephile.
started it. Like,
Yeah.
that's literally what, like, I remember watching her as I was like auditioning and I was like, I want to be her.
Yeah.
That little girl. She's like, that's the roles that I want to play.
And I feel like that's like his actual daughter, right? What
Yes,
was the guy's
yes.
name? Can we look up the guy
yeah,
from
what
Paper
is
Moon?
the guy's name?
He was also the dad in, and I was fucking mind blown when I found this out. He was the dad in Malibu's Most Wanted. Jamie
What?
Kennedy's movie, yeah.
Oh my God.
I was
I
like-
love Jamie Kennedy. I love
Yeah,
you, Jamie.
he's great.
Have you had him on?
No.
Oh,
he-
you should. He's
he-
great.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. He won't respond to me. I'll cut
Oh,
that
no.
part out. Paper Moon
Yes.
lead guy.
Paper Moon.
Ryan O'Neal and Tatum O'Neal, yes.
Oh,
fucking
Tatum
love that movie.
O'Neal. Did
You-
she win an Oscar? Did she win an Oscar?
For this, maybe. I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh my God.
You remember that
so
picture she gives him at the
good.
end of the movie of her sitting with the paper moon?
Yes.
I have that picture over there. Not the real one, just
Oh,
Wow.
I love it. And then, okay, I know this is 5, but I love it so much. And it just like came out of my mind for some reason. The movie with Sean Penn where with Dakota Fanning and he played, which you can't do anymore. He played somebody autistic. What is that movie? I
don't know.
Why
Sean
can't,
Penn, Dakota Fanning.
why? Because his performance is so amazing.
I Am Sam?
I Am Sam.
I've never seen that. I know. It sucks.
I am so jealous that you get to watch that for the first time.
See,
it
and
is,
that's-
dude. If you don't come out of that fucking movie crying,
Yeah.
such a beautiful movie. But yeah, Dakota, because she was wearing like such skimpy outfits, you know, playing
Yeah.
Cherie, and I've known her for so long since she was a little girl.
Yeah.
So she would always be like, Scout. And I was like, no, I cannot see you
Yeah.
like this. She's like, I was like, no, you're like a little girl.
Right.
Like, when did you develop
Yeah.
a butt?
I gotta watch this movie. I love Sean Penn. He's like a great actor, but I
Yeah.
also think he's a wonderful director.
Yes.
Have you seen Into the Wild?
Yes.
With Emil Hirsch.
So good.
That's a
So
movie
good.
you cry in too.
I don't understand why he's like not directing movies like
the time.
all the time,
Right.
you know? But maybe he's just like, I've got a story and this is it. And I'm going to wait until I
Yeah.
got another story to tell.
Well, he's kind of got that like existentialism vibe to him as well.
Yeah, he's just so like, he just is, which
Right.
is so cool.
Well, this is usually like my favorite part of the podcast, just talking about movies. I have to ask you, like, now that you're moving into, you've already moved into directing and writing. Who inspires you? What filmmakers can you put on when you need a little inspiration?
So many people, so many new, so many old. I mean, obviously you've got, you know, Steven Spielberg. Like
Yeah.
I could watch his movies over and over and
Who is that?
over.
I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
yeah. This one guy created this one shark thing, and then like this alien thing that was bonkers. I don't know
Right.
why he would do that. It was horrible. No, but I'm just like so inspired by him. You know, Damon Leone as well.
Nice.
Like I just really love like his brain and we can talk for hours. I actually like when I was doing Last Chance Motel, I like slid into his DM and I was like, or texted him, I should say. And I was like, well, hey, can I just run this kill by you? Like, is this too much? And he's like, no,
Yeah.
it's great. You know, and then, you know, like Sean Penn that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of people, and then also like actors, you know, like Michelle Pfeiffer. I forgot, like I used to love her movies like so much. Anthony Hopkins,
Right.
you know, I also like learned from people that I've worked with, like Helen Mirren. Like I worked with her on Love Ranch.
Oh, Joe Pesci,
Dude, yeah, Joe.
based in Nevada.
Yeah.
Shout out Nevada.
Yeah, it was crazy. Doing that movie was bonkers. We actually got sent to a bunny ranch, us girls, and we like got to work with the women and got to learn like a DC and
Right.
like all the things that they would do with their clients and how
Yeah.
they would do it. And, you know, all the girls in the movie are very much just like with their clients, but me,
Yeah.
I'm like with Joe.
Yeah.
I was like, well, this is a little bit different because
Right.
I have the man,
Right.
man. And then, you know, but working with Helen was so incredible. And I learned so much from her. And yeah, there's just like so many people that I constantly learn from everybody.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. Be a
I love that.
sponge. Learn
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah, always have to be.
Now, in preparation for Love Ranch, did they make you watch Cat House, or did you watch Cat House? Have you ever heard of that show?
No.
Okay, so
Is this another like a reality like?
it's
Behind
a
the
reality
scenes?
TV show about brothels.
Oh, cool.
And I
Okay.
heard the premise not too long ago, and I was like, I remember this being on HBO when I was a kid, so I went to look for it
Yeah.
completely offline. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh.
But I found DVDs on eBay. So I was like,
Okay.
I'm going to buy this DVD. We're going to watch it. It's like Jersey Shore, but in a brothel.
Yeah.
It's a straight up reality porno. So it was very uncomfortable watching the
And it
first
was on
season.
HBO?
It was on HBO. There was a whole drama about it.
HBO's naughty. They're
I know.
naughty. They were real naughty back in the day.
Oh,
Now they've
100%.
tamed it down.
Yeah, well, they
Damn.
still go a little above the line, which is what I love about them. It's like if it's from HBO, you're going to see some shit.
See, this is how my brain works. Because now you just said that, and I'm like, ooh, I want to fucking do a movie. I was like, that'd be really
Yeah.
cool to like do a movie about a brothel and like follow. Okay,
That would be pretty
that would be
sweet.
so crazy.
And
I know
if-
Showgirl was like really successful. That
Yeah.
was really interesting
Also
to see
based
that.
in Vegas.
Vegas, baby. There's so many stories here.
Yeah.
There's so many stories. I used to hate Vegas, and now I have a massive respect for it.
So why did you hate Vegas?
I just have always had like the worst time every time I'm here. Like
Yeah.
horrible fucking times. I never leave Vegas going, that was fun.
Right.
I left Vegas like broken up or like in a fight
Yeah.
or fucking hungover, like feeling shitty.
Yeah.
Like I never left going, that was just the best time ever.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah, well-
and nobody does, but we
No.
come back.
Right. Exactly.
And I don't have that. I do have an addicting personality, but I don't have an addicting personality to suffer.
right.
So Vegas
Yeah.
wasn't for me. I was like, I don't want to fucking suffer all the time.
And what turned the ship around?
I just like have respect for people. And I think I'm just like, I'm the hustle of it. I have respect for like people like in their jobs and like what it takes to like survive here.
Yeah.
I just have respect for it. It's like New York. I used to hate New York. And like last time I went there, I was like, oh, I'm these people.
Yeah. Right.
I move at this pace. I like get shit done. Like, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
brr, you know, like
It's so cultured there. I mean, it's literally one of the oldest cities in the country. But
Yeah.
every time I go to New York, I'm amazed. The problem with Vegas is that it's so new. So everything you're seeing was built in like the 50s. And
Yeah.
then anything that gets a crack in it, they replace it with an LED panel. So there's no history
Yeah,
here.
that's the only thing that's really hard. Is like I really do love history, and
Yeah.
I feel like it's constantly being replaced.
Right.
And I was like, that's the one thing that must be hard. Maybe I have respect for. It's like you have to have some sort of talent to be able to survive here.
Right.
You know,
Well, I mean, yeah.
or love for it,
exactly.
love for the hustle.
Yeah. Well, I find that people could get really complacent here because it's so cheap to live. So if you find a semi-decent paying job, you're living large. You're living
Yeah.
high on the hog.
Yeah. Well, I also too like the rotation of people here. You're
Yeah.
never bored. There's a
Right.
constant rotation, but that also might be hard. Like that must be hard to live in constantly. Like it's just like new people all the time. I was filming a TV show in Hawaii, and they stuck us at Turtle Bay, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm getting paid to stay in a resort for 2 weeks. This is amazing!" And it was literally like being on White Lotus. There's a rotation of fucking people and their stories, and like, "Where are you? Where are you from? Oh, we're gonna." And then it was just like a new person. I was like, "Oh my god, I could never." It's like, get me out of this fucking resort. I feel like that's what you feel like here. It's like it's a fucking lively city, but it's like just constantly like.
Well, it's just monotonous. Like I'll go to the, we'll drive somewhere to go eat, and I'm passing by the fucking hospital I was born in or the elementary school that I was at, and I'm just like, I'm over this. I'm really tired of this. I definitely need a change. I feel like we're in similar spots. I'm kind of in a position where I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily say finding myself. I think I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck it all is.
Yeah.
And Vegas, I feel like, is suppressing me from actually being able to grow. But then again, I was born and raised here, so it makes sense.
It's hard to let go of a place that you find comfort in.
Right.
And it's also easy to complain about a place that you've lived your entire life.
Exactly.
I understand. But like making that jump, I just made that jump for the first time in my life. But I've also traveled a lot. Do you travel?
I'm deathly afraid of airplanes. So I drive to LA.
That's it?
I've gone
That's
to
your
Phoenix a couple
travel?
times.
Okay. You need
I went to
travel.
Cabo. I went to,
Okay.
I've
as
gone
long-
a couple places.
As long as you get out, like
Yeah.
get out of your hometown.
Right.
I don't know if you need to like move away from your hometown, but at least like get out of it.
Well, it's interesting you say that because everybody I've talked to, like Joe Lynch,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Begas, they're like, dude, come to LA. Vegas sucks. There's no movie theaters there. Come to fucking LA. And I'm like, yes, I need better movie theaters. And I'd love to be able to just go to Disney. I'm getting a Disney fucking annual pass.
Oh, I love
The
Disney.
Are you a Disney adult
I'm a
like
Disney
me?
adult. I'm a massive Disney adult.
I love it.
The biggest. Biggest.
Yeah, I'm made fun of for it.
Really? I have Ariel, and then I have a dingle hopper on my back, and then I have a Fox and the Hounds lyrics on my
Right.
back.
It's just such a I don't even want to say magical. It's inspiring to be in that place.
Yes.
The
yes.
attention to detail. We were standing in line for a ride one time, and I from the corner of my eye, I saw something scatter, and I was like, maybe it's a bird. And then I was paying attention more towards that area, and I realized it was Peter Pan's shadow running across the ground.
cool.
Like they had something projecting or, something.
Yeah.
And I was like, this fucking attention to detail is the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. And you get to like be a kid for a day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Have you gone to Disney World?
I have. I don't think it's better. Do you?
What?
Yeah. It's.
Oh my God, I love it. I just love that it's like 5 fucking parks.
Yeah, but
that I can
bigger's not
continue.
better.
I guess like, Disneyland has like the magic, but I've been there so many times. Like since I was a kiddo.
Yeah.
So like I need to expand. And
Yeah.
I feel like, Disney
Right.
World, I can expand in that. Plus it has Universal. I'm just an amusement park junkie.
Me
So
too.
Orlando is like massive. I can go to all the parks and stay there for a week
Yeah.
and like have a fucking good time.
Yeah.
I leave Orlando how I should leave Vegas, wanting more.
Exactly. Well, hopefully after this trip, hopefully we
Yeah,
have
no,
some
this
fun.
is good. This is
I'm
good.
excited. We're going to a big festival tomorrow. I'm not too into the music, but it'll be cool to experience.
Are you not into any of the music at all? None.
I mean, like, the thing is like, who doesn't like System of a Down? Who doesn't
Yeah.
like Korn and Marilyn Manson? But like, that's more new metal. I grew up on like emo music, so it's like the sadder, the better.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
like sad music.
What was the one that happened here that they took a break from
When
I
we
was
were young.
Did you like that?
Loved it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I used to grow up in that music scene as well, but I was a mixed CD person.
Oh, yes.
So people would make me mix CDs.
Uh-huh.
I never knew the fucking band's names, but I knew the songs and I knew when it would come on my mix CD.
Yeah.
I never really was a collector of CDs, but I get what you're saying. I love all that shit. I'm sure if you were to like sing something, I'd be like, yeah, I know that.
Well, I'm sure like Taking Back Sunday, and The
100%.
Used, and that was more my
I also
thing.
have a weird thing. Like, I mean, I told you in the car, like I dated a lot of musicians. So also,
Which ones? We need to know. Let's break some news.
No.
Unless it's not public already.
No, it's very public, but
Oh.
it's just I've toured that that world differently, being the girlfriend of the fucking guy that's cheating on
Oh
you.
shit! Yeah,
So sometimes
I know
like,
a couple people who dated lead singers of bands and shit, but it's
Yes.
like they're in a new city every day.
But it was
so-
it was good because like they were super creative. They got what I did. You know,
Yeah.
it just was like it just worked.
They're in
It
touch
works
with
being
their
with
emotions.
Yes. I was like, okay, you get it. But then they didn't get the, I have to go kiss that guy on set. And I was like, nobody really gets that.
Oh, whoa! So you're saying that they would get jealous that
Oh,
you
yeah.
possibly had to kiss
Oh,
somebody?
dude, so insecure, so massively insecure. But I was the person, like there was one person, I was working on a show in Nashville, and I'm the girlfriend that's always like, this is my boyfriend. Do you want to talk? Like I'd FaceTime and be like, hey, this is who I'm working with. You know,
Yeah.
I'm very much that person. And there was a role that I had like make out with this random guy. And I actually asked the production, I said, hey, can we like fly my boyfriend out? Can he be the guy that I'm going to make out with?
Yeah.
And they did.
Well,
and
he's an actor too, right?
no, this guy wasn't. He
No,
wasn't.
your boyfriend.
Oh, no.
Or your husband,
No,
rather.
no, this is like before my husband.
Oh, okay.
This is my past ex. So we flew him out to make out, and the guy, my co-star, he was like in a band and he was looking for a drummer. My boyfriend at the time was a drummer, and I was like, hey, like let's like maybe, but he wouldn't do it because I had like
Yeah.
had intimate scenes with him. I'm like, this is a fucking gig. What are you talking about?
That's weird.
I was like, just fucking take the gig.
Well,
Who
isn't there like
cares?
a way that actors make out with each other to not really be making out?
Yes, 100%. There's so much that goes to it that it's not fun at all.
Yeah.
It's not, it's very robotic. You're also like, when you get on the set, you're pretty much like, have you eaten today? Because I haven't eaten today because I need to look okay. And it's like, do I look good like this? Do I look good? Like it's a very insecure moment.
Yeah.
It's never fun. And then you have like all these fucking dudes just
There's like
watching
40
you.
people. Yeah.
And then they all cut and people are coming in and like, oh, you didn't look so good like that. So maybe,
Yeah.
there's a lot of horrible shit. It's not just like, I guess me out with this guy.
Yeah.
It's not that at all.
Well, that's interesting to hear because like
Like, it's not.
when you imagine being in movies, you're like, oh, well, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
To make out with this huge actress or actor.
Yeah, I mean, is it not fun sometimes? Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah. So
Whatever.
now the truth is revealed. It can be fun occasionally.
I don't know. I watch
watched
these movies like The Notebook, and I'm like, I think people take it a little bit too far.
Right.
You see these movies, and you're like, oh man, they're definitely fucking. There's no way, right? There's no way.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, they're in a relationship, of course.
Yeah. Well, you've heard of like people hooking up on
know.
set and then being in a relationship afterwards.
I know it's such an intimate thing, filming and making a movie.
Yeah.
It's such an intimate, like electric thing that happens for a short amount of time, and people get so like connected so fast. So I can understand those things happening, but
Has it
I
happened
also-
to you? Have you ever, kind of caught feelings for a cast member?
yeah, when I was younger.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah. I think I actually I did a movie called American Crime, but I also had a crush on this guy before I did the movie. He played Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Jeremy Sumter, little Jeremy. But yeah, I had a crush on him, and I had done Sleepover, and we'd done all the like the Bop interviews, and they were like, "Who's your celebrity crush?" And I was like, "Peter Pan," and it was Jeremy, and I ended up doing a movie with him.
Yeah.
And it was a really serious movie, actually, American Crime. If you've never seen it, you should watch it. It's based on a true story. But yeah, so we did this, and we sort of connected. Maybe I shouldn't say this.
No, say it. We need it.
We connected, but he also made out with the fucking extra at the rap party, and I was like,
Uh-oh. How dare you?
I just remember leaving that rap party, but I remember we were so young. We were
Yeah.
so young. But I remember like crying to my mom in the car. I was like,
Glad you just brought up Sleepover, by the way. A movie that I
segue.
dude, it's probably one of the greatest early 2000s girly movies I've ever
Mm-hmm.
seen. I was so surprised because I saw the poster of it and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to watch this.
And enjoy it.
And enjoy it. And then we end up putting it on. My girlfriend's, watching it like it's The Godfather.
Aww.
And I'm sitting there like, wow, like this is actually a really fun, slightly inappropriate movie.
So inappropriate.
Like you can't do that today, I
But
feel like.
so many movies back in the day were so inappropriate.
Yeah.
Just think about all the fucking cartoons that we used to watch. Like Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, yes.
Dude.
Did you remember the adult version they did on Spike TV?
Yes.
Where they would curse?
Yes.
That was the shit.
Like so much inappropriate shit.
But even the Nickelodeon version was like slightly inappropriate.
Yeah. No, but Sleepover was fun, man. That was like the massive highlight of, I think, my career. I feel like I really felt like I was like, I'm like doing it. Like I'm doing it. I'm making a movie, like a big movie. And it was so fun. Like we were so young. That movie took like 3.5 months. And we were like playing war with each other. We were flirting with each other. People were like hooking up. Like it was like a school. Like it was pretty wild.
With an absolute star-studded cast, mind you.
Yeah, dude.
Steve Carell, Evan Peters. I mean,
That
fucking
was like
everybody
Steve's
was in it.
like one of his first fucking movies.
Yeah.
And he was so fucking funny. He always made us laugh. He was such a joy to be around. And then like Evan, like playing like that dorky guy, like we just all got along. Like Sarah Paxton, Brie Larson, Alexa Vega, you know, Jane Lynch, Jeff Garland, you know,
Jane Lynch.
Yeah,
I
I still talk to these people. I really like. I every once in a while we'll see each other, but it's I get recognized more from that movie than anything else.
Really?
Yeah, I was, and especially by women. I was at a bar once, and I was like freshly single, and I was in my hoe phase where I was like, I'm just gonna like, dance with everybody and like hopefully make out with as many people, and I was just like feel in my feels, and I was like sort of like I was in one where I was just like sort of slithering through the crowd of people and just like dancing and connecting with as many people as I possibly could in one night. And I remember I saw this one girl, and it was like, she's fucking giving me goddamn daggers. Like, and I was just trying to like dance away from her, and she was just like following me around. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I did something I shouldn't have done. And I like went to the bathroom, and I went into the stall, and I came out of the stall, and she was fucking there, dude, like a fucking horror movie, just like, like right there. And I was like, hi. She was like, hi. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And just like her whole facade. She's like, are you Farrah from Sleepover? And I was like, bitch. I was like, I thought I danced with your fucking man.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to fucking take me out back and like fucking ring me. Like I was like, I'm going to get my ass kicked.
You're
and
gonna
so
have to sit by the dumpsters.
Yeah, and we became friends, and I think we hooked up that night. But yeah,
Wow.
it was really funny.
Okay, cool.
Really
So,
funny.
That's a very interesting story. I love to hear that. Yeah, I mean,
Really funny.
and getting recognized for it's so surprising to hear that that's what you get recognized for the most.
Yeah, but it really resonated with people. Like it really did.
It's charming.
I didn't realize that it was so big. It was so big. I remember going to the theaters at 14, and I went with a couple of kids that I used to babysit. I was like, maybe you guys will like this movie. And it was sold out that I had to sit in like one of the first 2 rows.
Wow.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah. That's cool to have that
Sleepover,
experience.
like that movie, like if that was to come out now, do you think it would be a sold out theater?
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Just
Who knows?
people's like, I think people's tastes are just shifting, or people are just getting bored with things. So
Well, I feel
not
like
a lot of people.
Superbad was like the last mark
My
of
God,
like,
I loved Superbad.
because like even think like American Pie.
Dude.
They were in high school in that movie.
Dude. Oh my God.
Unbelievably
Which I kind of
inappropriate.
understand, because could you imagine letting kids now see that? But
Right.
I don't know, man. They've got like fucking Euphoria.
Oh, that is true.
They've got some fucking, they've got more, it's more emotionally mental.
Yeah.
When back in the day for us, it was like grotesque, like naughty.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I'm going to fuck you up
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah,
in your
it's
like
psychological.
Yeah, which I think is fucking worse.
Right.
I think that's horrible.
Well, I feel like you have to hide behind, like, if you want to do something edgy, you have to hide behind the like A24 guise of like artsy, fartsy, you know, good cinematography.
I'm getting a little concerned in what I see for like our YA. Like I'm like it's very adult, like very adult. What was the one with Selena Gomez? She produced. It was like about the girl that committed suicide and she left books for her like
13
friends.
Reasons Why?
13 Reasons. I was just like, this is what our kids are like hooked on. Is like we're talking about like
Suicide.
Yeah, and you know, like I said in the beginning, I have a lot of kiddos and I've gone through them in their lifespan, and I was actually talking to one that I've known since she was like 6, and now she's 15, turning 16, and we got into this massive conversation about high school and how it's so incredibly different than what we went through. There's no fucking way that you and myself and you could have survived what school is like now and what these kids have to go through.
So what is it? Like, what are they going through?
I mean, like it's all like mental and like drugs and like
yeah.
like it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, drugs were prevalent when I think we were in high school, but they're more
But
prevalent now.
This is like kids are ODing all the fucking
Yeah.
time. Kids are like wanting to kill themselves.
Doing coke in the bathroom.
The
and-
fucking internet.
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
there's like all this bullying that's like not just in the school place. Now it's like fucking for the whole world to see. Like
Yeah.
it's intense. Like we
Well,
create an intense world.
Exactly. But like, it's also the fact that schools are like, they used to be a safe place. And
Yeah,
now
they're
it's like someone
not.
could walk in with a fucking backpack and a gun.
Dude, that too. Like
Yeah.
it's unsafe. Yeah, it used to feel safe, and now I'm like, homeschool.
Right.
Maybe we should homeschool our children.
Yeah, exactly.
Never leave the house.
Right.
They're gonna love me and grow up really normal.
Took a dark turn from sleepover.
Yeah.
Jesus. Talking about fucking school shootings now. How do I even pivot from this?
It's because
I'm
we're
like,
both ADD and ADHD.
And TikTok sucks too. I
yeah,
mean,
TikTok.
Yeah, it's horrible.
You just sound fucking old now.
Even though I am on TikTok all the time, I'm like, but I'm on TikTok for junk journaling, which I shared with you.
Yes, junk journaling. I love it. It's the physical embodiment of the way your brain is.
Yeah, 100%.
And we'll give you a sticker too. Can my sticker please be in your junk
Oh
journal?
yes, 100%.
Just make a page
I need to
for
collect.
Vegas.
No. Tomorrow when we go to the festival, I'm gonna go to all the booths and collect all the fucking
Yeah.
trash that nobody wants. The
Right.
flyers. I hope there's still flyers at these festivals
There is.
anymore. Are there? Okay,
Or
good.
there's maps.
Or is it barcodes?
Yeah, no,
Go
they
to my barcode for my band.
I think they give you a map at the front so
Okay,
you could
cool.
know where the stages are, and then
Cool.
there's like a fucking probably a QR code for
Hell
some
yeah!
shit.
Awesome. I'm excited.
I'm excited as well. Let's see where we're at. We're at 125. There's no way we cut it at 125. I think we go for like 20, maybe 30 more minutes.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna cut this whole interjection part out, but I have to pee. Told you it was gonna happen at least once.
He did it. He made it. He made it. School
Yeah.
shooting and TikToks. Let's
Fucking
do it.
dark turn.
Let's do it.
There's two things like I want to jump into. One is the fact that because we ended on ADD, and I'm gonna have to cut out that bathroom break. So I'm like,
ADD.
jump back into ADD, or bringing up the fact that, oh man,
Oh
which
God,
direction?
what's a deep breath here? What's happening?
because
What
I've
are you
got-
going to bring up?
I've got two routes I want to go. No, this one isn't deep. It's actually kind of funny.
Oh,
I find it fascinating that you've worked with both Spy Kids in your career. Both Alexa Vega and Daryl.
how fucking
what's his
cool
last
is
name?
that?
Yeah,
How
it's
cool
amazing.
is that?
Not many people could say that they've done that.
Dude, you know, and to know them as they've like grown up into like these badass adults.
Yeah, he's like dating Meghan Trainor. I think.
Dude, and he's like the best fucking husband ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like the best, like on the sidelines, like knowing her dance and like she's like so in love with like it's just
Yeah.
like the cutest relationship. And then, you know, Alexa, she's like like I've known her longer, so seeing her growth and you know, she's like found her faith and like
Yeah.
her husband and like they have like kids. They actually live in Nashville. I have yet to hit up any of my friends in Nashville yet because I've been traveling so much since I've been there. So I'm going to hit them up when I'm like, okay, I get to be here and then like see everybody. But she was actually, I saw her recently because I was doing a TV show with my husband. We developed this TV show called Newlywed Wars, where it's like it's a food competition between each other because we're very competitive with one another.
Like cooking?
Yeah. And we're horrible cooks. Like horrible.
That's the hook.
So we have our friends come in and like show us a dish and how to make it. And then we have to compete against each other to like create this. But then we like play games and like, you know, whoever wins the game gets like a advantage. Like it was just like a cuckoo fun experience. And I had Alexa on. She came out. It was so funny. I asked so many people. And so many people said yes. I had like the spectrum of like, you know, like Clint Howard to like Alexa Vega to like, it was crazy. Like it was the amount of like Jamie Kennedy came. Like it was just like,
awesome.
it was wild to like see the
All
types
these
of
people
people.
converge.
Yeah, but I worked it like around a con that was happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, who's going to be at this con? Let's get all these guys
smart.
to come and have a good time. Yeah, producer brain.
Well, that's
Producer brain.
great though, because it's like, you know, I really do feel like you need a show. Like you have to have something. Like obviously you're going to stay in Hollywood and you're going to keep making films and, you know, star in TV shows and shit. But I think something that's just you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I was trying to figure it out. I think with the Diaries of the Mortician's Daughter, I'm very fascinated with death and true crime, and like I know a lot about that world. Plus, you know, like my father is still around, so I was thinking of like maybe something around that, or just maybe something around like directing, like teaching. Like I'm learning and teaching others the do's and don'ts, and like just like the journey of it all.
Well, that direction right there, like mortician, true crime kind of thing, that would be fucking interesting.
But
'Cause
my
there's nobody
thing is
better
like
to do it than you.
I just want to make sure I have like the time to like really give it the love that it needs.
Right.
That's my only thing. And I think like with Talk Scary to Me, it was just like we were both going like different directions, and we just didn't have the time to like really like it's like taking care of a baby.
Right.
You really got to fucking raise this thing and like feed it, and like it's a responsibility.
Yeah.
And when you have so many big dreams, it was really hard to maintain that. So I just want to make sure that I would be able to maintain it. But I also like screen presence. I've also been attracted to like hosting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, I love Elvira.
Yeah.
Like I love movies. I love how they're made. I always thought about like doing BTS and like going and visiting sets and
oh, that'd be cool.
Being
like
with different
filming-
directors and producers and writers, and like really getting down to like kind of shadowing them. I have a lot of ideas. There's a lot
I
of
could see
stuff.
the ADD brain. I'm like, okay, wow.
I'm
It's
like ding, 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 ding,
weaving-
ding, ding.
Yeah.
So imagine like trying to have a conversation with me. My husband's
Yeah.
like, I just need to know, are you going to take the trash out?
Yeah.
I just need to know, how are we over here?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think having ADD is kind of like a blessing and a curse because
Yeah.
it's difficult to pay attention. But when you care about something passionately, you are fucking laser focused on it.
100%.
So you could almost use it to feed what you're doing. you
Yeah,
know?
I think I am. That's why I'm like my toes are in so many different things with like, I think the entertainment industry helps my ADD and my ADHD because there's you have to constantly be like on your toes.
Yeah.
You have to know a lot of different things for
Right.
it to run, especially with like my production company. It's like producing and writing and directing, and like it's a lot of different
So what's your
stuff.
production company called?
Building Blocks.
Oh, Building
Productions.
Blocks Productions. Wow. Okay. So, and what's your plan with that long term?
I mean, develop amazing personal stories. I also like
Direct all of them or different
no,
voices?
I'm also hoping to bring in different voices at some point. I think I need to sort of like, you know, Road to Recovery. There's 2 others that I have slated to do this year and next year. And I think once I'm able to do that, show it to the world, what we're all about, then hopefully we can sort of start collaborating with other amazing storytellers and I just want a community, man. I really like working with others. I really love working with others. And I love learning from people. And so, yeah, I just want to continue that and grow it.
Yeah.
I'm not like holding like an expectation to it because I think what is and what will happen will happen.
Right.
So I'm just gonna try to like ride this wave and just see.
Yeah.
You know, I just picture Locke's Road to Recovery, and it's such a beautiful movie. It's such a beautiful movie, and we're getting into the, you know, composing and color, and it's gonna be ready in about like a month and a half, and you know, then we're gonna hit the ground running with festivals, and that's
Okay.
gonna be a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, while that's happening, I'm in pre-production on a movie that I'm shooting in Spain that's a much bigger stab that I'm making, and an idea that I had for a very long time. And I'm like, if I don't, this is the thing about an idea, especially in this industry, you're not the only one thinking of it.
Uh-huh.
And so if you don't act fast,
Yeah.
it's gonna be gone. Like my
Right.
husband had Escape Room. Like he thought of Escape Room, and Escape Room came out, and he was like, "Fuck!" I was like, I know. And then like, you know, I started to write a movie called White Elephant, and then White Elephant was just announced like
Interesting.
a week ago, and I was like, God damn it!
It's like
I was
Carl
like, oh
Jung.
well, yeah,
You ever hear Carl Jung and the
Yes.
collective unconscious?
yes,
So it's like if you think of it, you're grabbing it from a shared pool of consciousness, and if you don't put it into the physical realm, it's up for grabs for anybody.
and I want to do every genre. Because
Yeah.
I just want to see what I like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm discovering what I like. It's like being with a new partner and you're just trying to feel each other out.
So
you
what
know?
do you like the most so far, though?
I mean, so far I love coming of age like dramas.
Okay.
Because I just write that so well. Like I really love living in that space. So I'm constantly trying to develop things like that. But I'm also wrote like a women's comedy that I really enjoyed writing.
Yeah.
I really love Bridesmaids, Girl Trip. Like I love like the power of women. I used to be afraid of women my entire life, and now I feel like I'm not. I'm like embracing it.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited of doing this women's comedy that I wrote. And you know, and there's other like, you know, I'm working on a horror, but that's like taking it back to like Final Destination and
Cool.
like older stuff rather than like, okay, let's do what's working now.
Right.
You know, and finding my style.
Yeah.
Like my style in doing a horror movie, like Lee Cronin, like finding what is my style,
Yeah.
not just like replicating somebody else's.
Well, I've tried, you know, dipping into writing horror screenplays a
cool.
couple of times. And I mean, I've written a shit ton of screenplays that I've never seen the light of day, but I find that every time I sit down to write a horror, I'm too overtly trying to make it a horror. And Joe Lynch actually gave me a really good piece of advice. He's like, just write the screenplay to where if you were to subtract all of the horror elements out of it, it's still a good movie.
Yes.
Don't write a horror movie. Just
Yes.
write a movie
Yes.
that just so happens to have
So
scary
that's
shit going
what
on.
Last Chance Motel, like when I came up with that, I was like, I want to write a horror movie. Like that is horror.
Yeah.
But now that I'm like writing from my feelings and my traumas and my things, it's like that's just like second nature.
Right.
And it is really with this horror that I'm developing. It's like it's a horror movie, but like I'm taking all the things that I loved as a kid, all the things that I was fucking horrible at it as a kid, and like I'm like morphing it into
Yeah.
this. And he's right. He really is.
Right.
You have to be able to like subtract it
Yeah.
from that. But that's why I love like Lee Cronin's shit, because I'm like, it's like deeply personal and twisted. Like there's like a meaning behind it.
Right.
Like Hard Eyes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know what I think, like going back to The Mummy, there was that scene where, spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen The
Oh,
Mummy, turn it off.
sorry.
But you remember when like the grandma gets bit in the neck and she's already dead, so the embalming
So
fluid
fucking
is pouring
good.
out? Amazing. Then the little girl puts her teeth in her mouth.
So fucking good. I was like, how did he fucking like? I grew up in a mortuary and I didn't even fucking think of this fucked up thing. I was
Right.
like, it was that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
From her coming out of the ceiling to that entire fucking thing.
Right. Well,
was
the way she
so,
was peeling
Oh my
out of the
god,
ceiling.
it was so good.
Yeah, I liked
so
it.
good.
And I'm glad to hear you liked it too,
Yeah.
because I felt alone in this boat.
No, I respect it. He fucking tried something. He executed it. I think it was fun. It was entertaining. Like I said, it's been a long time since I feel like I've seen a movie for my ADD ADHD brain that like I was like glued in and locked in.
Yeah.
You know?
So how do you think that you get to, because he had like massive, I mean, the marketing on that movie had to have been a fortune. It was everywhere. And then we drove to LA and there were fucking giant posters up on every street corner. How do you think you get to that? Like, how do you lock in something where you are getting a wide theatrical release and you're getting the marketing dollars
It's
it deserves?
interesting, but I feel like a lot of people are getting these opportunities. I feel like it's like kind of what we've been saying. We're not like people are not developing. Especially, let's just like talk about the genre. It seems like there's so many filmmakers coming up anew that are saying, fuck the shit that's been going on. I'm going to develop what's personal and true to me and stories that I want to tell.
Right.
And they're executing it on like a low level, but people are paying attention.
Yeah.
Like it seems like the Blumhouses and the A24s and the Neons are like, where's the new one? Where's the
Right.
new one? Where is
Yeah.
it? It's going to drop soon. Where's the new guy? What's the guy that just got announced? He did Obsession. And he just got announced that he's doing the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, I
But
saw
Obsession
yeah.
was such an original idea. It was something personal to him that he wrote and he directed, and that he sort of morphed it into a horror. But it
Right.
was from a personal thing. It was like
Curry
like
Barker.
being obsessed with somebody.
Yeah.
That's everything that we've gone through. I'm sure you've gone through somebody obsessed with you. I'm sure I've gone through. I'm sure you got.
I was the
He's
obsessor.
like, well, I was the obsessor. So you were the fucking crazy ass bitch.
Right,
You
yeah.
know, so you're like, yeah, there was. My mom.
No, like Joe Begas.
dad.
Have you watched any of Joe Begas's movies?
No, I haven't seen that, but that was another guy. I mean,
Yeah.
Eli Roth and I talked a lot about him.
So
Yeah.
Jimmy and Stiggs was fantastic, but he did a couple of his first movies were, and he says this on the show, so I'm not like talking shit or anything, but they were kind of like him being too inspired. I'm going to try and make my Carpenter film or my Cronenberg film, but he made this movie called Bliss. And if there's any movie that I could recommend that I think you would love, it's
Cool.
Bliss.
Okay.
And like Joe's a partier. He is inspired by drugs and by, LA nightlife.
Yeah.
And
a lot
Bliss
in
was the
there.
first movie where he channeled that into his screenplay, and it's seriously beautiful. It's a wonderful movie.
Okay.
And he made it on such a low budget. So, I agree. I mean, there's a lot of these like young up and comers. It's just unfortunate to me because it's like, well, why aren't they getting this neon A24 kind of treatment? I tried everybody to get the Last Chance Motel screening link so I could
We
see
just signed with a distribution.
Theatrical or no?
We can't say. We can't say
Oh.
just yet.
Damn it.
But it's somebody. It's a company that the announcement's going to come soon. It's a company that's just like really passionate about what we were doing and saw what we were doing and passionate about us, and that's like kind of the support that
Yeah.
I feel like I've been looking for
Well-
in a lot of my shit. I'm like, oh, cool, you guys support me. This is great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The idea is so like I feel like it's, I don't know. This is just what I've gathered from the little tidbits of what I've heard about it, is like a little Texas Chainsaw-y.
Yeah, I was very inspired of that, and
House of a Thousand Corpses.
House of
maybe?
a Thousand Corpses, a little bonkers-esque of Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
What's my Hills Have Eyes?
Oh yeah, because it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, I maybe it's because I grew up in a desert that I love like a desert landscape.
Yeah.
I really do. But then obviously when it's very expensive to film out here, we actually scouted. Well, I looked up filming here in Vegas, and it's so fucking expensive.
Really?
Yeah. And we looked in like Palmdale because like isolation, right, is
Yeah.
like what we needed for that movie. And we shot at the Pink Motel, which is like in the city in Sun Valley, right across the street from a train.
Where's Sun Valley?
Sun Valley isn't like it's in LA. It's like Sherman Oaks,
Oh, okay.
Encino.
So, yeah.
And right next to a hospital.
Oh, no.
So we were like in the thick of everything.
Yeah.
But it was like half the cost. But I think about like Last Chance Motel. I mean, we shot that in a limited amount of days for no money, like literally nada. Like I don't even think Danielle and I got paid. And it was just like so expensive. Like if we could have done that and executed that somewhere else, we could have just done so much more.
Right.
And that's just like that's a shitty thing to
What was the budget?
budget was like $500,000.
Oh, that's a pretty fucking decent budget.
I mean, but for like a horror movie,
Yeah,
like look
yeah.
at what fucking horror movies like.
Yeah.
Like special effects is fucking expensive.
Right.
It's like that was like all of the budget and our location.
Yeah.
It was like
Well, you can't do practical because now that's even more
yeah,
expensive.
and like in LA, they just make it so difficult to film. It's like they just like add taxes on everything. It's like, oh well, you can rent that toilet, but it's gonna cost you like $15,000.
Well, that's why the new
Like,
Texas Chainsaw shot in like fucking Bulgaria or
Yeah,
something. It's like they're
yeah.
just like we can't do it
Dude,
here.
I'm going to take this movie in Spain because this movie will then like most of my money will go onto screen and it'll seem like a $20 million movie.
Yeah.
But here it'll end up being a fucking $20 million cost if
Yeah.
I was to film in Atlanta, which is so sad to say because a lot of the studios are not full. Like I just went to Warner Brothers and Universal and there's nobody on these fucking lots.
Yeah.
Like stages are empty.
Right.
Like that's sad. I used to go to these auditions and I had I got really close to the Grinch and I remember going there and testing for the role and with Ron Howard and going to his trailer and it just like it's like the movies. It was like packed with people and just you saw stars all the time and now it's like
Ghost town.
yeah, dude. Even like the Universal ride, I'm like, they gotta get rid of this thing because
Yeah.
they're going to the back lots and like no one's there anymore.
Yeah.
There's no excitement. There's no like, ooh, it's Hollywood. There's
Right.
like none of that. Like Warner Brothers, it's gone.
But what the fuck are they thinking? Like, why are they doing that? Why are they driving out like the main industry of that city?
I don't know, man, but they better figure it out. I know that they just passed a law or just like sort of started to like give us, well, we have no tax incentive that's worth a damn.
Damn.
Like tax incentive is like, I'm sorry, I don't want to bore you, but like,
No,
if
this
you
is
can go
interesting.
do, in Tulsa, I had such an amazing time filming in Tulsa. If I can go take like a $3 million project there and have a tax incentive of like 40%,
Yeah.
that's fucking insane. That's amazing.
Right.
Like I can go, hey, you're going to get like this $3 million movie is actually only going to be a $1.2 million movie.
Oh.
Like,
So
but
tax
now,
incentives like that.
yeah.
Wow.
But LA is they don't do much for you.
So for the uninitiated at home who don't really know what tax incentives are, like what types of incentives are you getting? How do they offer
So
something
every
like that?
every city's different.
Mm-hmm.
Like every city has their own like percentage and how what it is. Like you have to like sort of follow this formula. Like it's like, oh, you have to use 4 towns in this city to get this percentage. Oh, you
Yeah.
have to use maybe some local music to get this percentage. Like they're very like for the community,
Okay.
for the city.
Yeah.
Like we want you here because we want you to use our city
Yeah.
for your needs. Like we have all of this that we can provide you because we welcome you.
Yeah.
In LA, it's like, fuck you, you need me.
Everybody wants to make a movie, motherfucker. Get
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I heard Texas, like there's a rule in Texas. If you're making a film out there, you can't badmouth Texas. You can't make satirical jokes. You can't, So I think there's a list of like do's will hook you up, but there's also a list of like don'ts in each city.
There is.
Yeah.
But that's why you have producers that really zone in on that and learn that. But it's interesting, being an actor for almost 30 years. And then now like, finding out like how hard it is to make a movie
Yeah,
and like what people have to go through behind the scenes.
right.
Like we get to see like the behind the scenes of the making, but no. The money, the people that like fucking make sure that the people arrive, make sure that the trailers are there, make sure that like the fucking shitters are there.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of fucking like people that
Right.
go to making this. And there's a lot of knowledge. It's a lot of people to make a movie happen.
Now, how much of that is and again, this isn't a mark against you. I find myself doing stuff like this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I end up coming up with these excuses because I know that something is going to be so difficult to get done. But then you talk to somebody like Joe Begas where he's like, well, dude, we got all these exterior shots driving through Los Angeles that would have cost us $40,000 to do, but we just stole the shots.
I'm gonna say Shia LaBeouf. Just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do it.
With this, you got to
Just
see the arms.
do it. You have to just do it. To even see if it's something you like.
Yeah.
like doing it and I mean, you watch movies all the time, you enjoy them, but making something is so much different
Right.
than fucking watching a fucking movie.
Exactly.
So I applaud people that are like, we just fucking stole this and stole that. I mean, it shouldn't fucking cost us anything for
Yeah.
some of this shit.
One's like, what's the ticket cost? You know,
I think
$200.
when we were filming in Tulsa, they were working on another movie and they came out to Vegas and stole some fucking Vegas shots. They're like,
yeah.
we're just gonna fucking steal this shit because it's gonna cost us.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sending an email tomorrow morning.
They're like,
Pissed off.
God damn it.
Come to my city, steal my shots.
That's funny.
No, I mean, but I think it's amazing to hear your career progression. So many people get stuck into a lane. They end up getting typecast, and then they're complacent with that because as long as money is coming in and as long as things are going as they normally
Dude,
have.
I would have probably quit acting at some point. It's like I said, there's less jobs now for actors. I don't know if it's because massive movie stars are coming into TV shows and stealing all the fucking jobs, like every job, because like we're all struggling. Even the A-listers, like, you know, they're movies aren't what they used to be, so they're trying to figure it out too. They're like, oh fuck, do I gotta go to TV? I gotta do commercials? I gotta fucking do an AMC commercial? Like we're all just trying to fucking figure out what's going on. But like, there's actually an actor that said it. It's like there's a percentage of actors that have been doing this for so long that fall into this category that are not new. So they're not like the influencers that can make their fucking career happen and like know this like new wave that is
Right.
happening. It's like these polished actors that are not like A-list, but they're like really great at their job. They fucking have been in it for so long. They're ride or die, but it's like they're falling, like they're falling off.
Right.
You know, because there's just like no work for this bubble of people. And I was in that category. You know, I've had really, like, I'm very proud of the things that I've made, and I just wasn't getting to the place that I wanted to get to, and I wasn't being given the opportunities of what I wanted to do, and so I had to sort of think outside the box and create that opportunity for me. And it was kind of like the advice that I'm giving you. It's like, I just tried it. I didn't know if I was gonna like directing. I was like, I'm just gonna try this. I'm gonna see if I like it. I'm gonna see if I can even execute it. And I just fell deep in love with something that I used to be in love with acting as. Do I miss acting? Yeah, of course. I miss it so much. I feel, but there's not like, this is something where I was like, okay, I can do this. I was on set, you know, BTL, and I was watching Danielle, and, you know, that role, it's funny because my lead actor came in and he was like, oh yeah, you're going to play the Laura, right? The girl. And I was like, oh, no, I cast an actress for that. He was like, wait, what? Oh, I totally thought it was going to be you. And I was like, no, I want to focus on this. But there was no moment in time that I was filming that I was like, oh man, I wish that was me.
Right. Well, because you're not looking for the limelight. You want to be creatively fulfilled.
100%. And I think of that every time I'm just directing a movie. I'm like, man, I wish that was me.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just like in it and living in these actors. Like I'm seeing them like get excited how I would get excited. Like I'm just like feeding off of like the energy that I know so well coming into a project.
I get a sense from you that you're just grateful to be a part of something like that.
For
you
sure.
know, like, I mean, hearing the story about you like writing a letter to the casting director of The Runaways.
Dude.
I said Runaways. The Runaways.
Runaways. Yeah.
But that's huge because it wasn't like, you know, if you didn't get the part of Joan Jett, it wasn't like, well, fuck this. I don't want to be in a movie that I'm not the leading lady. You're just like, I just want to be a part of this. So that seems like embedded in your DNA. You're aware that you are a part of an industry that so many people spend their entire life, and it's a lightning strike of a chance to get into it.
100%. I admire people. I really do. I admire the talents that people have. I've echoed this entire conversation. I love learning from people, and I know things that I am not strong at, but I love that I can like have somebody in my corner that I can like be side by side and like learn. Like,
Right.
you know, in this next movie that we're doing, it's a lot of special effects. It's a lot of like world building. It's like building sets and all this shit, like shit that I think I did it on sleepover. Like we built a house and a sound stage and like we built like a tree, but I was like fucking 14 years old.
Right.
You know? And so now being able to like, oh fuck, I'm going to like do something new. Like this is crazy. But I also know that like this, I'm not 100% on this, but I've got people behind me, or not behind me, right next to me.
Yeah.
Like, and we're fucking doing this together.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm really, I really work well with others and know and respect others'
Right.
talents. You know, even the script, like I created the script, I wrote the script, but I remember looking at it and going, I want this to be something. I need to have somebody come on and like help me just make this like the best that it could. And so
Yeah.
I did. And I remember talking to this writer, and it'll be announced soon, somebody I really respected. And I remember this writer going, man, I talked to my partner and I was really nervous about taking the meeting with you. And his partner said, well, it should tell you something. She came up with this idea. She's directing it, but she knew that she needed help. So she came to you.
Yeah.
That should tell you something. This
Right.
is somebody's baby. People don't do that.
Yeah.
People are very like, no, it's mine. It's okay. It's all good. It's great. It's beautiful. It's the best.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. We can all help one another like achieve where we want to go.
Right. And everybody will bring something different to it that like one mind couldn't have
Exactly.
contributed. So
Dude,
it'll
I'm
just end up being
always
better.
bouncing ideas off of people.
Yeah.
I just work better that way.
Yeah.
I really like working that way. My husband must drive him fucking nuts. I'm constantly like, what do you think of this? And he's like, oh, I don't know what do you mean? I'm like, oh, I just it's never ending
Well,
for my brain.
It's funny because I prepared today to talk to the actress Scout Taylor Compton, and I love that. Like, I ended up getting the director, the next
know.
evolution of Scout.
Or honestly, like, got me.
Yes, exactly.
It's pretty wild.
It's you.
Yeah.
You
I think
know?
every interview that I've seen of myself is like, you know, talking about my job and talking about my roles that I've played. And it's really, I really love talking about it, but it just feels like so far. It feels like I was like sort of in a daze. It's really, really strange. And maybe I was personally, like I was just kind of like in a, like, I don't want to say like I felt like I was like on coke my entire life, where I was just like drugged up,
Yeah.
you know? And now I feel like I'm waking up for the first time. It's
Right.
wild. I'm like, all right, I'm done with drugs. Woo! That was crazy.
That was nice.
We're sobering up here.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at him sober.
Well, good for you. Honestly, I love that for you.
Thanks.
That's amazing.
Thanks so much.
Seriously. And
Thank you.
I'm really excited to see everything that's coming out that you're working on.
Thank
You
you.
know, so-
Thank you. You're really amazing to talk to, and I'm very excited to talk you up to people, because I feel like a lot of people should come here on this show.
Well, I appreciate that. And
Yeah.
honestly, I'm just like zoning in. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm like thinking like, holy fuck, I'm exactly like that too. I try not to make the show about me, so I don't really say it all out loud,
Yeah.
but I'm being able to listen to the guests and learn from them not only adds so much more fulfillment to my life, but like I'm kind of living through your guys' experiences in a way.
Mm-hmm,
And so this show, and I've said this before, it's more for me than it is for any kind of audience. Without these cameras, without these lights, it would be, you know, hey, Scout, you want to come hang out at my house? You'd be like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Why did you create the podcast? You
because-
remember that? What
Yeah.
was that voice saying? What was?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. I mean, I felt like the podcast would be a license as an excuse to talk to people that I look up to. So
Okay.
I've been offered people in the past that I'm not trying to fucking sound like a big time guy, but that I've turned down because I'm not naturally interested. We've gone back and forth about people all the time. And I'm like, sure, they're a big name, but I don't care about this person. Not that I don't care about this person, but it's like there's not something about them that I feel like I really want to know. They might be big for the audience, but it's not something that means something to me. So I felt like the show was more of a, like I said, a license to get people in. But also, I grew up on Howard Stern. I love listening to long format conversations.
Yeah.
And, you know, before Rogan became all political, I don't know, I'm still a big fan of his show, especially when he talks aliens.
Yeah, so good.
But, you know, sometimes I like
I wish
that.
I could talk to aliens.
Right. Yeah.
I want to talk to aliens all the time.
Yeah. I'd love to have Bob Lazar on the show one
Oh,
day.
yes.
You know.
Amazing.
And I love, you know, like talking to people about things like fears and stuff, you know, because horror, I've been so attracted to it since I was a kid. I've got a book back here from 2002 of like early screenplay writing.
Oh, amazing.
I was 9 maybe.
Okay.
So I've always been kind of attracted to the darker side of life and being able to ask people, what do you think happens after we die? And what are your fears? And you saying something that I feel kind of confirms my thoughts and makes me feel a little less insane, you know.
Well, I think that's what's great. I think being able to learn from one another and like see yourself in each other, and maybe something that I said sparks something in you, vice versa.
Right.
You know,
Hey.
I think we're all here to help each other. You know, the world is already fucked up enough. I think like connecting with people is what's really important. And I feel like if we all did that a little bit more, I think we would be in a way better place than where we are right
and
now.
in an authentic way, not on like a fucking social media kind of way.
Yes.
'Cause social media, you compare yourself.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at these numbers and look at my numbers. Fuck all that noise. Ignore it. Lock your phone and just have these human to human interactions where, you know, you can
and
look
I'm
somebody in
looking
the
for
eyes.
more of that. You know, as I was saying, you know, I went into this really dark place of like, who am I? What's beautiful? Like I just wasn't seeing the world at all. I wasn't seeing it all.
Yeah.
And so now I feel like I am, and not taking it for granted. And, you know, you got one fucking life. That's it. It happens really fucking fast. You never know when you're going to go. So I feel like, you know, those dreams, that person that you want to talk to, that thing that you want to do, you know, like it's now,
Right.
you know.
Yes.
It's what is the phrase? Like oh God, I'm gonna sound so stupid. I don't know what the phrase is, but it's just it's now, you know, like you take the opportunities and I think too many people push their gut down and don't listen to it.
Yeah.
And the gut's always right.
Yeah, that is true. And circling back to LA, my gut tells me to move there. So I'm like, I have to.
Okay, then
I have
fucking
to.
do it. If
But
it's
we'll
like
see.
speaking to you, you can always come back.
Right.
I don't know if Nashville is like my home, because I can always come back to LA. If it didn't work, but hey, I fucking did it. I tried it. I met some cool people. I had some cool stories. But it wasn't for me. So I'm going to come back. Like it's life is life, man. Just fucking experience it.
Well,
And
you'll be out there all the time anyway.
yeah, I'm literally going there next week.
Yeah.
Like
Your job is out there.
Yeah, I'm always there. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, if that's what your gut's telling you, do it and see what it is.
We'll see. I mean, I love the smash burgers out there, so that's probably got
Smash
something
burgers.
to do with it. You a smash burger fan?
I've never had smash
Oh
burger.
my God. See, I took Rusty to my favorite smash burger spot and he was
Oh,
like, I think
really?
you overhyped it a little bit.
What
I was like,
is it?
offended.
Burgers never say
Okay.
die?
So you remember being in like the backseat of your parents' car when you were a kid and they didn't want to make food, so they stop at McDonald's and they
Oh
get
yeah,
you like
I was my parents didn't cook, so I grew up on fast food.
Okay. So McDonald's has changed objectively. It sucks now. And I don't know.
McDonald's fries are fucking great. Don't you
Yes,
fuck with
right.
McDonald's
No, you're right.
fries.
But
It's
Big
the
Macs
best.
have changed. They're not the same. The McDoubles, they've changed. This place, as an adult, gives you that same special feeling of getting McDonald's on the way home.
Where is it?
It's in Silver Lake.
Oh, are you
Yeah.
a Silver Lake guy?
No, I'm more of I like
Are
Burbank.
you Burbank? Yeah, that's where I grew up. Burbank is my
Yeah.
hood. Burbank's my hood.
Or West Hollywood, which people find that to be a little sus. But
West Hollywood is just like, I don't know. I try so hard to be friends with all the West Hollywoods. I'm
Yeah.
like, love me, please.
well, it's very clean there.
Yeah, it is very clean.
Obviously.
No, Burbank is dope. Burbank is like the you'll find all the alternative people
Right.
in Burbank.
Yeah.
The alternative that aren't fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Aren't gonna fucking kill you, murder you. They just want to have a good time. That enjoy movies and filmmaking. Yeah, you'll find a really good hub of people. We lived in North Hollywood, so I wish that I like lived in actual Burbank.
That's kind of like on the board, like, right by Burbank.
you're
right?
is Gayukaku here?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh my,
Gayukaku.
Gayukaku.
Is that a restaurant?
Oh, it's a restaurant. It's Korean. It's Korean or Japanese? Japanese barbecue.
Ah,
Dude,
okay.
that's the only fucking thing that I miss of LA is Gayukaku. I dream about it all the fucking time. It's so good. Is it here in Vegas?
Apparently, it used to be,
Damn
and
it!
it's permanently
I was like, I'm
closed.
going there tomorrow.
It was on Decatur and Spring Mountain.
Damn it! It's so good. When you go to LA, eat that.
Gayukaku.
It's
Japanese barbecue.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Well, that looks
Nom, nom,
amazing.
nom, nom, nom.
Jesus Christ, now I'm hungry.
I know.
We're over here talking about food.
I know what time is
Well, what
it?
do we got? Yeah, we got a lot of time.
No, yeah.
Scout Taylor Compton.
Hey guys.
Thank you so much for joining us in the crypt. Everybody at home, you obviously probably already follow her, but Under the Sea Scout.
Under the Sea Scout
On,
is me.
Instagram.
Come. And then I'm starting my junk journaling adventure on TikTok.
Yes, scan them, put them up on Instagram.
I will,
I'm sure
I
people
will,
would
I will.
appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. I've had a great time.
Well, thank you for joining. Let's do a high five ending, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Peace.
Thanks. Bye.